section. My name is Paul Dezay. It's good to be with you on Friday, my favorite day of the week. Friday's the day where we put it all together. We take a look at the four passages and we talk about the themes, the threads, the intersections that run through those passages as we prepare ourselves for Sunday, which is the third Sunday of Advent. So it's the third Sunday of Advent, so we're in preparation for Sunday. So in Sunday's service, Sunday's sermon, Sunday's songs are all inspired by these passages that we've been working on, we've been preparing, we've been chewing on all week long. So I hope that you have gotten something out of this week, because it's just been amazing for me as I've studied and prayed and tried to draw these connections together. And then, of course, apply it to our lives and to the church and to our community. So it's great stuff. All right. So this week we talked about, on Monday, we read from the Gospel of John. Now, typically in year B, that's where we're at. This year's going to be the Gospel of Mark is going to be our primary text. But occasionally we'll jump into John, and this week is one of those. John 1, 6-8, 19-28. John the Baptist, sent by God. He's on a mission to testify to Jesus, the light, and so that everyone believes. And so he does baptism and he leads people into repentance. He's not the Messiah. He's not the prophet Elijah. He's not the prophet that Moses predicted. John is the voice. He knows who he is. And so that's all about calling and his identity. So that's Monday. Tuesday was 1 Thessalonians 5, 16 and 17. And Paul is talking about faithful living. As we wait for the second coming, he talks about a life of worship, a life of discernment, a life of holiness. The big emphasis there is rejoice always, pray at all times, and give thanks, right? So that life of worship. And then on Wednesday, we talked about Isaiah 61, 1-4, 8-11. And this is the return from exile. And it talks about the one who is going to be anointed and sets the captives free, preaches the good news to the poor. And we know in Luke 4, Jesus fulfills that calling. But this is the prophecy of that one is to come to set the people free. And so it's about salvation. It's about mission. And then yesterday's passage is Psalm 126, a psalm of ascent, a psalm after exile. Lamenting, looking back and seeing the good things that God has done, but then lamenting because things still aren't right. So a lot of great passages this week. So there's a lot of themes in there. I'm going to share with you three of them that I saw, and I'm very anxious to hear from you and to what themes you came up with. First is joy, and that makes sense because this Sunday we light the candle of joy. The second, third, and fourth passages all have the word joy in them. Rejoice always is Tuesday's passage from 1 Thessalonians. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Old Testament passages deal with joy because people are being set free. And then the Psalm mentions joy 3 times, and it talks about the joy that comes from the reversal of fortunes. So joy that comes because God rescues. So joy is my first theme this week that I saw, and I'll be talking about joy on Sunday at Sandy Hook. The second is the role of the prophet, this idea of witnessing and the calling that John had to be a witness and what that all means. To witness the light speaks truth, the light confronts. And John had to do that, and it cost him his life. And that calling, the idea of witnessing, isn't just a calling for John, it's a calling for all of us to tell about the love of God. And that's something that we all need to be a part of, and we shouldn't, as it says in 1 Thessalonians, we need to listen to the voice of the prophets. Don't discount what the prophet has to say. And then the third theme I got this week is this idea of liberation. That brings about restoration, the reversal of fortunes, and how salvation in God's eyes isn't just saving from sins. It's also the physical aspect of setting people free from the things that they're enchained to, the idols that they worship, the struggles that people go through in unjust systems. And so there's this idea of liberation and restoration that is at the heart of the gospel message. And so we need to be not just people who proclaim that Jesus died for the forgiveness of sins, but we also need to proclaim that Jesus died to defeat evil in all of its forms. And so we are proclaimers of the good news that in Jesus there is victory over whatever is enchaining people in our society. Jesus come to bring freedom. And that is an important part of the gospel. So anyway, those are the three themes I came up with. What did you find? If you would share your thoughts in the comments, let me know. I want to learn from you. And what you come up with, it might be completely different than what I come up with, but I'm not right. I mean, this is all of us. The Spirit teaches all of us. And so you share your thoughts and I want to learn from you. So that's it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And if you do not have a church home, I invite you to worship with us online at Sandy Hook. We have an 8:45 service and an 11 a.m. service. The 8:45 is traditional hymns and an organ, and then 11 a.m. is contemporary with acoustic guitar and newer songs. And both services are amazing, so I invite you to join whichever one you can. They're all online. We broadcast on Facebook Live and YouTube, and we just invite you to join us. That's it. That's all I got. So, hey, grace and peace, everyone. You take care, and I hope to see you very soon.